Brew Strong is brought to you by Blickman Engineering, home of the top-tier brewing stand. Visit them online at blickmanengineering.com.
Brewers, it's time for the beer radio you've been looking for. This is the show that dispels myths, tackles the toughest topics, and makes no apologies for geeking out on beer. Hosted by two guys that drink before they think. Jamil Zainasheff and John Palmer. This is Brew Strong.
Hey, howdy, hey, my friend, brothers and sisters. Come with a mouthful.
Greetings.
I'm enjoying a nice Alpha Galactic from Beechwood. My good friend Julian.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Julian's a crack up.
I've never had a bad beer from Beechwood.
That's right.
No, you won't either.
Yep. Dude's a great brewer and really just passionate about it. And he's a fun and funny guy.
Yeah.
He's I don't know. I think if you don't know him and you were to like overhear him at some moments talk to some other people, you may get entirely the wrong impression. You may be terrified of ever approaching him or speaking to him, if that was the case.
But a really nice guy.
Oh, he's a sweetheart. He's just a really wonderful, generous, kind guy. Yeah, he's one of my favorite people. No, it just cracks me up. I think, it's like, I think with our good friend John Blickman. Yeah. You see him, you hear him talk, you see him around, you see him at the trade shows or whatever, and you're thinking... You
wouldn't think he's capable of inventing anything.
You wouldn't think he's capable of tying his shoes, but hey. No, you see him, and you think he's very straight-laced, business-like, intelligent guy, just, getting business done. And then, you spend some time with him and have a few drinks, and he gets to know you. And he's got a pretty ribald sense of humor.
He's a big goofball.
He is, yeah. Yeah, he's great.
Like the rest of us.
Yeah. I mean, but to see him from a distance, you think, there's a real straight-laced business guy. But he is not like that at all. So I just think it's cool. All the people we get to meet and have fun with in this industry.
It is a great industry, yep.
Yeah, well, we just got to do the AHA rally again for our third time. And it was a blast. Now, this is one of the benefits of being an AHA member. You, as an AHA member, get them for free. And we did 3 full pints of whatever beer you wanted. We gave people 2 bombers of beer to go. We provide some food. Hopefully next year we can provide a lot more food. We also gave away 5 gallons of wort for the first 200 people. And, there's raffles. There's all sorts of stuff. Free prizes. If you can't walk out of there with more than it cost you for your AHA membership, then you just aren't trying.
And you get to talk to Jamil, too.
Well, there you go.
Which, people do stand in line to do that.
My family doesn't. I mean, what's going on with that?
Well, they figure they'll catch you at an inopportune moment.
Right. But it's a blast, and one reason to be an AHA member. Well, and like we were talking about Blickman. Blickman's paid for this show for like the last 10 years. And what I want you all to do when you hear this is put it on pause, go to your computer, and typey, and type in an email to John Blickman. You can send it to feedback@blickmanengineering.com, and you can tell him thank you, and tell him, hey, we appreciate you sponsoring the show, and by the way, I took a look at all the good stuff on your website, and it looks really cool. Or I asked my brew shop to carry Blickman gear, or whatever it might be. I mean, he's doing this out of the kindness of his heart. He should get a little bit of value back for it, I think, is what I'm trying to say. So the least you can do for us is send an email and tell him how much you appreciate that he sponsors it. And that will keep it sponsoring. And for those of you who are terrified that the show was canceled because of lack of you sending in emails to John Blickman, it really just was they didn't get posted. So we've been doing the shows. People are like, hey, you're not doing the shows anymore? It's like, no, we're doing the shows. And they're like, well, I don't see him anymore. And so that's your wake-up call. Could have been true. Huh? Think about that.
Yeah, that's right.
So there. You got any travel coming up, John?
I do. In fact, day after tomorrow, I head down to Uruguay, to Montevideo, to do the Copa de Uruguayan Cervezas, a professional brewers cup. A lot of breweries from Uruguay, Argentina, Brazil, Paraguay, all around the local region, and so that will be fantastic. And they have also, get this, they have invited me to participate in the dedication of their new National Brewing Technology Institute.
Participate meaning hold this end of the ribbon. Participate meaning...
Are they naming it after you?
I'm not sure. No. They may ask me to cut the ribbon. They may ask me to hold the ribbon. They may ask me to show people where to sit. I'm not sure.
Right.
But, yeah. But I am looking forward to it. Should be a great trip.
Sounds like a blast. I've got, in November, I'm going to do a week in Korea. I'm going to be the 6th through the 9th in Seoul and the 9th through the 12th in Busan. Then I'm going to Japan the 12th through the 14th, I want to say, in Kyoto, and the 14th through the 16th in Osaka, the 16th through the 19th in Tokyo for the American Beer Week stuff, and then back home.
Very cool. That's quite a trip there.
Oh, yeah.
I really remember our Singapore trip fondly. You were there in Korea as well that time in Japan.
Yes. Singapore was a blast too. I was just seeing the Facebook posts. Somebody's doing a Facebook memory or whatever.
I'm going to be attending Brew again this coming year.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, that'll be in Manila, and they scheduled it fortunately the week before NHC here in the States. HomebrewCon here in the States.
There you go. And HomebrewCon is Portland this year.
Yeah.
Right.
Great beer city, of course. Very good place.
I've got to do Portland. I got to be there. And our beer is there, so I'll have some beer events nearby, and we can get people down there to drink some beer.
Are you gonna road trip?
I don't know. Everybody can road trip. I'll fly and I'll meet you there.
I know that's how it's gonna go down.
Well, because it's gonna be like a full week.
Yeah.
Of stuff going on.
Oh, that's like a mere 15-hour drive.
I'm gonna need to get there. I can get to Portland in 9 hours, 8.5.
I just went to Northwest Oregon, and it took 11 hours to drive.
You're driving like an old VW camper van with 2 cylinders.
Driving a Subaru, going 80 the whole time.
Huh.
Just took forever.
Whose Subaru was it?
My girlies. I don't own a Subaru. I got the old Mercedes that doesn't go above 60. Maybe in my car it might take 20 hours. I don't know.
All right, there you go. You obviously did lots of stops.
Just 2. Or just actually just 1 for gas on the way
stops.
Up. No.
See, I stop. It's like Indie Pit Crew. Pull into the station, flip the gas cap open. I slam the gas
They won't
in there.
let you.
I
They won't let you.
Oh,
They
yeah,
probably
that's
yell
right.
at you, huh?
Right. Well,
You're the
that's
rebel.
Oregon. That's why I get my gas in California before crossing the border.
Ah.
You start that running. You run inside. You pee. You grab whatever snacks on the way out. You undo the gas, and you're off. And it's like 10 minutes tops, and you do that. See, my wife, when she drives down to Southern California, she's like, "Yeah, it's like 8-9 hours to drive to Southern California." I'm like, "It's a 4 or 5 hour drive."
4-hour drive, yeah. 8 hours.
She's like, "That's impossible." It takes her like 7. Because she'll stop, she wants to go to the bathroom. She'll stop, she wants to get some coffee. Then she stops, she wants to get to the bathroom. Then she stop and wants to get some gas. Stop, want to get some food. I love the woman, but no. I'll pee in a cup, throw it out the window. That's
Dumb and Dumber.
If there's gas in the car, I'm rolling. The only thing that stops me from moving forward is a lack of gas, and then it's an Indy pit stop and back out on the road.
It's business.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
you use that trick of just peeing in the gas tank. I mean, how much of you're drinking, it just goes, right?
Well, that or you just hang it out the window and let it trickle down the side of the car. That's not too bad either.
Come off.
Yeah. All right. Today's show. See, we had such a good show. I think now it needs to be filled with.
Got to make up for it.
Degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. People send in a lot of questions about sparging, believe it or not. Various related things about, like kettle design and rates and, lots of questions around it. It's one of the things that really, one of the reasons why batch sparging became so popular is because it seemed to simplify things.
Yeah.
But apparently not quite enough. So there's a whole slew of questions. And we'll get to answer them here right after this.
Are you looking for a simple brewing system that's great for all grain brewing, but everything on the market seems to be full of compromises? Blickman Engineering has the answer. The Blickman Brew Easy All Grain Brewing System. The Brew Easy is a complete system with easy upgrades and a beautiful compact design, perfect for any size brewing location. At its core, the Brew Easy is built on 2 gorgeous Blickman Boilermaker brew kettles, a high-temperature March pump, and either a top-tier gas burner or the new Boil Coil electric heater. The Brew Easy adapter lid allows the pots to stack on top of each other, forming an efficient, strong, and compact brewing setup that comes in 5, 10, and 20-gallon batch sizes. Upgrade your Brew Easy system with full automated control by adding a Blickman Tower of Power temp controller, and make moving around easy with the Blickman Kettle Cart. The Brew Easy is modular. If you already own a Boilermaker kettle, you can build your Brew Easy by purchasing just the modules you need. The new Brew Easy all-grain brewing system. See it today at BlickmanEngineering.com and brew with Blickman quality on your new Brew Easy. Since the first time the Brewing Network microphones turned on, More Beer was behind it. More Beer sponsors the programming on the BN because, like you, they love brewing. And like the Brewing Network, they love sharing their knowledge. Morebeer.com isn't just a website to place your next equipment or ingredient order. Morebeer.com also gives you access to free beer information that will make you a better brewer. Go to morebeer.com and click into the Learning Center. You'll find podcasts, technical facts, video tutorials, and more, including access to The Buzz, More Beer's social network of more than 5,000 members. And some of them might even be crazier about beer than you are. Get over to morebeer.com today and take advantage of The Buzz, the forum, the Learning Center, and make sure you're signed up to receive the newest More Beer catalog. More Beer, bringing you absolutely everything for beer making.
Hey guys, what'll it be?
I'm not sure. What do you recommend?
A lot of people seem to like the Hefeweizen.
Is that a German Hefeweizen or more of an American-style wheat beer?
I'm not sure, but I can give you a taste.
Okay, great.
The Cicerone certification program certifies and educates beer professionals in order to elevate the beer experience for consumers. Unfortunately, not every bar is staffed with certified beer servers who can guide their customers through a beer list.
Here you go, guys. Let me know what you think of the Hefeweizen.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely more of an American meat, but I can hardly tell because this beer just smells like sour butter. I wonder how long it's been since they cleaned the draft line.
Yeah, and look at the bubbles on the side of the glass. It's filthy.
Somebody should tell these guys about the Cicerone program.
For sure. How about we head somewhere else for another beer?
Your server should give beer the same respect you do. Request quality. The Cicerone certification program offers 4 levels of beer certification, in-person classes, and course books for beer professionals. Check them out at cicerone.org. The Cicerone certification program. We know beer.
Since 1979, Williams Brewing has offered the finest equipment and freshest ingredients and the best customer service in the business. Check out their brand new patent-pending mash and boil 110-volt electric mashing and boiling unit. This compact all-stainless unit lets you mash, sparge, and boil just about anywhere that has a 110-volt plug. Double-wall construction adds to efficiency and safety, and a precise thermostat keeps temperatures where you want them. Unlike insulated buckets and converted coolers, multiple temperature rest mashing is easy to do, all for under $300. They also feature the Mark II work pump, a magnetic drive high-temperature pump that does the work of pumps that cost twice as much, as well as exclusive Brewer's Edge regulators and quality Keg King kegs and disconnects. Check them out today at williamsbrewing.com to brews their vast selection.
Back to the beer guys that make other beer guys look like wine guys. Brew strong.
All right, we're back. Yes. If you have questions for John and I and Porno Steve here about brewing, you can send them to brewstrong@thebrewingnetwork.com. Now, you'll get an automated reply that says, hey, we got your email, thanks a lot, but you're not going to get like a direct response. This is for questions for the show. You can prefix them with a Q&A, or if you have like show idea, put show idea in the title. And we do get to them. We see them all, and I go through them on a regular basis every couple of weeks to make sure that we're pulling questions for the Q&A shows. These questions come from you guys. They're not coming from somewhere else. And we appreciate that you send them in. There's a backlog of them. Sometimes the questions become repetitive because a lot of people are asking the same question you are. Great. Don't hesitate to send it in. Send it in. Because a lot of people need to, if you're asking that question, a lot of other people are too. So, questions on sparging. They kind of range the gamut here, but John, they want to calculate like water flow through a dense grain bed into PVC, transitioning to copper. So these are all you. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. This one from Trevor Raborn.
Trevor!
Yes.
Yeah, I see this guy all the time. What's up, guys? I'm thinking about my future brew stand and my process. Currently, I batch sparge and get 73% to 80% efficiency, depending on the beer. And I'm happy with that. I like batch sparging. Thinking about building a single-tier stand with a direct-fired mash tun that recirculates during the mash, then raised to mash-out temperature and drain to the kettle using a pump. Then I would add the sparge water, recirculate for about 10 minutes, and drain again to get the final volume. Ultimately, this would allow me to batch sparge, but also get the pros of fly sparging without the cons of possible tannin extraction, and I would only need one pump to do this method. What do you think? Would this work well, or is there something I'm missing?
Well, I know I said it was all you, John, but I just can't resist. No,
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but from what it sounds like he's doing, he plans to recirc each of the batches of the batch sparge. I mean, the value of fly sparging is that you're not homogenizing the entire liquid volume with sugar. It's a lighter sugar concentration on top as it kind of pushes out the heavier sugars at the bottom. That's the only thing. But and if you're recirculating, you may actually extract just as much. Is it possible to get more? Sure, but you might be fine on that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, when you batch sparge, you add the second volume of water with the valve closed. So it's just like you're doing a second mash with that new sparge water. You stir it up, you get that batch homogeneous, and then you drain again. If you were to instead of letting it sit for 10 minutes, you recirculate it for 10 minutes. I suppose, the pH shouldn't change. I don't know that you would tend to extract any more sugar recirculating than you would with just the sparge itself. If you stirred well, what's in solution is what's going to go into solution is going to be homogeneous. So, yeah, it may clarify the wort a little bit, compared to, a small Vorlauf before draining. I guess, yeah, you'd have to maybe just do it a couple times, and it may depend on the recipe as well. Some beer styles may be more prone to tannin extraction from a recirculation of the second runnings than others. Hard to say at this moment.
If you watch your pH,
yeah.
If you pre-treat your water so the pH can't rise that much, I think you'd be fine. And, I think one of the key things is he said he was very happy with the batch sparging and the extraction again. And the efficiency he was getting seemed pretty darn good to me.
Yeah.
He was, 73
to 80%.
Yeah, 73 to 80. There's no reason to really chase more extraction. One of the things that I find, we were talking about in the last show about session beers. One of the tricks to make a great session beer, I think, is to take first runnings and then water that down, and you get such a rich malt character with none of the tannin.
That's correct. Yeah.
That's really a great thing. So, I don't know, but like most people, it sounds like he's having fun tinkering around and making a new brew system. So, sounds good.
Yeah, I guess one aspect of efficiency that I will point people to in the new edition of How to Brew is the fact that the OG that you're targeting has a lot to do with what your efficiency is going to be as you go to higher and higher gravities, and trying to minimize or be efficient in the amount of malt that you use. The efficiency is going to go down because you're not diluting that first runnings as much in the attempts to achieve a high gravity.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got some tables in the new How to Brew that'll kind of make this a little more apparent. But I like Jamil's advice: don't go chasing high efficiency, thinking that that makes you a better brewer. Brew wort that tastes good. That's the better
That's
better
good
mark.
advice. Yeah, you what kind of brewer you are is based on the taste of your beer, not how much grain it took you to make that beer.
Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that's kind of thrown a curveball in my thinking of sparging is the work we've done on what we call polyguile. Where we're using multiple loads of grain in one wort, not party guile, polyguile. And the fact that it keeps extracting the sugars, even when, we were up to 34 Plato at our brewery at Heretic when we did the Evil Quad with Yepa from Evil Twin Brewing. Yeah. And 34 Plato, that's 1.136 or something like that. Crazy, OG. And it had no problem extracting those sugars to that level. So I think if you recirculate, maybe you are going to extract more. Give it more chance. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Interesting question. Interesting thought. All right, next question.
This one's about fly sparging. I've recently converted to fly sparging / continuous sparging. I've heard that you were supposed to try to match rates of the outflowing wort with the inflowing sparge water. Is there a benefit to adding the sparge water at the same rate compared to adding sparge water a little faster? I feel like using a pump to add the sparge water at such a slow rate is probably bad for the pump. Is it better to pump the sparge water in or the wort out of the mash? It seems like pumping the wort out of the mash might contribute to stuck sparges.
Well, here's the thing about pumps. You moderate the flow, the speed of flow from the pump by having a ball valve or valve on the outflow. So the inflow is always 100%, wide open. You apply back pressure with the valve to slow the flow. So, in other words, running a pump to achieve low flow shouldn't be any different from the pump's point of view than running at a high flow. It's still full. There's no drag on the pump. There's no pressure on the pump really.
Especially on something like those rubber impeller pumps, like the
March pumps.
March
and so on,
pump.
yeah.
But what's the Blickman one? The Pumpinator,
the tidal flow,
the Riptide pump.
Riptide, there you go.
That thing's badass. That's a great pump. You should get one on your brew system there, Taylor.
I love it.
But yeah, John's 100% right. The pump's running at the exact same speed regardless. It's nothing different to the motor windings on the pump. It's a little back pressure, which shouldn't affect the impeller or any of those parts. Certain kinds of pumps may have an issue with more back pressure and may slightly wear out fast. Maybe a diaphragm pump, would you think, John, would have a different result with some back pressure? But the diaphragm pumps are made to go up to like 100 psi. They don't mind some back pressure. That's what they're designed to squeeze against.
Yeah, if you're adjusting your pump flow with a rheostat, like in a home built system, that would be bad. But normally that's not the case. So
right.
But Taylor, go over the question again. I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent on the pump aspect.
But even if you went with a DC pump and you could use just voltage to regulate the speed, not going to hurt it. Really, it's 100% still just working exactly like it should. Yeah, go back to the beginning of the question. I wasn't paying attention to you, Porno.
Not surprising. It's okay. I'm used to it. He says he's heard that you're supposed to try to match rates of the outflowing wort with the inflowing sparge water. Mm-hmm. And he asks if there's a benefit to adding sparge water at the same rate compared to adding sparge water a little faster.
No, the point is you're adding it in as it's flowing out because you don't want to overflow your kettle. If you're pumping it in faster than it's coming out,
it's going to eventually
overflow.
Yeah.
And if you're pulling it out faster than you're filling, then you're going to suck the grain bed down.
Yeah.
But it's always better to pump it in the top than it is to pull it out the bottom, I think. Yeah. And I think
Bevo nods. She's yes. Yes, absolutely.
The bottoms and exit only. All right. Because, as he states in his email, he's worried about a stuck mash, which can happen. If you pull harder than the mash will naturally let the liquid through.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful about that.
So he's asking, if the pump is pulling too much. Then
where to put the pump,
right?
Yeah.
You don't put it near the end. You put it near the entrance. Mm-hmm. But the trick is to just get a float switch over your mash. That's what I used. You can buy them off of McMaster, and a lot of homebrew shops now have them. It's a little stainless steel float that essentially cuts the power to the pump or turns the pump on. as the water rises, it lifts the float, shuts the power off, the pump stops. As it drops, it cuts back in and turns the pump back on. And so it keeps a perfect level of liquid over the top, regardless of the outflow. Then you can just focus on your outflow and get a nice rate of lautering. I bet you in the AHA Brew Guru app that they got some good articles on brewing. They may actually have one about sparging.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yes.
They've got a lot of good things in there. The AHA is a great organization. You should be a member. If you love homebrewing, you should be a member. That's just a fact. Because they do a lot of good things. The Brew Guru app is real cool. It's nice and quick and snappy. It's free. You get it from Google Play Store. You get it from the App Store. You get it from the child sitting on the end of your couch. What it'll tell you is where all your discounts are. Homebrew shops, breweries, restaurants, where you can get where you can save more than you paid for the cost of the AHA membership. Seriously, if you can't recover all the money that you paid for the AHA membership each year, then you don't like to eat or drink or brew beer. That's just a fact. So there's plenty of places around you that will pay for your membership. Get the Brew Guru app, and it'll show you where those are. It's a great thing from the AHA. All right. Let's do this. Let's take another break because I'm out of beer. Yeah, the timing's right. All right. And then we'll come back and answer more questions right after this.
If you work in retail sales, the restaurant industry, or are a new craft beer enthusiast, or you know someone who is, you have got to check out Beer 101. Beer 101 is an online course created for anyone wanting a quick introduction to the vast world of craft beer. Beer 101 covers the history of beer, brewing ingredients and processes, vital stats like ABV, SRM, IBU and gravity, styles, tasting, glassware, and pairing beer with food. The Beer 101 course is offered by the Brewers Association at craftbeer.com, also home to the truly awesome Beer Style Finder, a visual guide to every beer style. Quickly play with color, bitterness, and alcohol content to interactively explore the entire world of beer styles with a gorgeously designed interface to your favorite beverage. The new Beer 101 course and new Beer Style Finder are only available at craftbeer.com. Craftbeer.com, celebrating the best of American beer. BN Army, have you heard the latest at Hop Tech? Since Hop Tech has doubled in size after a huge expansion, Jade and Roberto can stock even more of the best quality homebrewing supplies and equipment. Over 60 kick-ass varieties of hops and malts, monster truckloads of quality brewer's yeast, including White Labs, Y-yeast, and multiple dry yeasts. They even have all grain systems from Grainfathers and Ruby Street Brew Systems, thanks to Jade, the brand new all-grain brewer. And don't forget about their 10% discount to all BN Army members. Jade and Roberto are waiting for you and all of your brewing questions over at hoptech.com. Hoptech, totally not sucking since 1983.
Hey, my brewing brothers and sisters. This is Jamil Zainashev, and I want to tell you about Heretic Evil Twin. You might be familiar with my homebrew recipe, which uses massive late hopping to create a balance between the malty sweet and the hoppy bitter, along with an outrageous malt and hop character. I wanted a beer with the same bold hop and malt character, so we played around with the homebrew recipe until we were able to make a great commercial version too. We've created a beer rich in malt character, full of caramel, toast, biscuit, and an ever so subtle roast note. On top of that, we piled in an insane amount of Citra and Columbus hops at the end of the boil, as well as in dry hopping. This damn-the-cost approach to hopping gives Heretic's Evil Twin a great blast of citrus and tropical fruit that can't be matched by any other hop. The result is a bold, malty, hoppy, but easy-drinking beer. This is our top seller, our flagship beer, and I couldn't be prouder of it. Cheers.
To find Heretic beers near you, click on Find Some at hereticbrewing.com.
The 21st 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
Do you like beer? They make beer.
Watch out!
Do you like friends and fun? They make friends and fun.
Watch out!
Do you still like to have a good time? The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
The 21st Amendment in San Francisco, located at 563 2nd Street, 2 blocks from the building where baseball is seen and played. Try their beers in the pub or try them in the can, featuring
Monk's Blood.
Made with real monk.
Watch out!
So why not have the best time of your life? Go to the 21A and Sean O'Sullivan will personally greet you with a can of
Monk's Blood. The 21st Amendment.
Watch out!
This advertisement is not in any way affiliated nor associated with the 21st Amendment Bar and Pub, nor its subsidiaries or affiliates. This telecast is not copywritten by the 21st Amendment for the private use of the Brewing Network. Any use of this telecast without Jamil Zainashev's consent is prohibited. Suck it, JP.
Are you a member of the White Labs Customer Club? If not, you should be. It's the easiest way to earn free stuff for turning in your old homebrew labels from either Vials or Pure Pitch. All you have to do is save your labels and redeem them for things like free yeast, an exclusive White Labs t-shirt or sweatshirt, and even the opportunity to brew with the yeast man himself, Chris White. Signing up is easy. Just go to whitelabs.com/customer club, fill out the registration form, and then mail in your labels. They will return the favor by sending you awesome White Labs swag. Go sign up today at whitelabs.com/customer club. White Labs, pure yeast and fermentation since 1995.
Back to the two guys that know how to turn beer into beer. This is Brew Strong.
Well, and hey, you know, have you noticed the new White Labs yeast in the vault?
I have indeed.
Right. They've added the WLP 066 London Fog and the WLP 073 Artisanal Country Ale Yeast. Both of those sound quite exciting to me. The London Fog, because if you want to brew a New England IPA, a NEPA, if you're all about the haze and the fruitiness, the London Fog sounds like a great example. If you're into farmhouse style beer to guard kind of beers, the Artisanal Country, the 073 sounds really interesting to me. And what's cool about this is, they can't make like a million different products and have them available all the time. They go out of business because they're the stuff that, they sell a ton of 001, but, these other things, it's kind of they're doing them just out of passion. And they need a certain number of orders to make it break even, which is 150 orders. So if you sign up for this and it hits 150, you go to your homebrew club and say, hey, let's all try this, London Fog. We all interested in brewing a New England IPA. Bang, there you go. Get them up to 150 orders. They'll make it. They'll ship it. You're all set. Commercial brewers can even get in on this. You just need to order 1.5 liters. So, pretty cool. You go to whitelabs.com/thevault, all one word, and to learn more and place your pre-order on these specialty strains. And they're always introducing other ones. They have a catalog of thousands and thousands of different kinds of yeasts that are never going to see the light of day. You're never going to get a chance to brew with if they didn't do this. So make sure to keep cruising that vault and sign up for the ones you think are nice and interesting and tell your friends. All right. Next question, Pornographic Steven.
All right. This is the end of sparging and the end of boil. It's a question about that. I have a stainless steel 10-gallon mash tun, Bayou Classic, with a false bottom that has a 2-gallon dead volume under the false bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I sparge into an 8-gallon brew kettle for more beer. I was wondering at the end of my sparge after I collected about 6 gallons in 45 minutes, can I quit adding sparge water and just let the dead volume drain while I lose the 2+ inch deep above the mash bed volume liquid disappear?
Yes.
Right. If he's able to get that dead volume out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I figure channeling will not matter since I think I'm just collecting the water under the false bottom. Is this assumption wrong? When transferring the boiled and cooled wort into my 6.5 gallon glass carboy, I wonder if I should transfer the last half gallons, which is full of cold break solids.
No.
If I do, what off flavors would I get?
Don't leave all the really heavy cold break out. When you put it in, people say, good thing.
It's got a lot of questions in here.
As long as you can collect that dead volume, I would say that, one of the things you want to do is not to put in more water than you need. Try and limit that. One, you're using less water, less heat, et cetera, but your grain comes out drier when it's time to dispose of the grain. John, would you have something to add to that?
No, I agree with you. I mean, generally you don't need a lot of dead space underneath the false bottom. Usually just enough to accommodate the dip tube, or however you're pulling that wort out. If there's like a 2-gallon dead space, that's fairly significant. So yeah, I would, as he asked, I would stop sparging and then just let it drain and collect that, because further dilution is not going to really help. And that way you do get a drier grist that you can, is easier to dump, because you have to de-water it anyway before you throw it in a garbage bag or something. Yeah. Yep, I think that's about sums it up.
All right. Next question.
All right. I fly sparge with more beers, sparge arm. Every pale-colored beer I brew, I can only sparge for 20 to 30 minutes before the runnings drop to 1.010. Shouldn't this last upwards of 90 minutes? I feed into the BK with a pump at a very slow rate, almost a trickle. My mash pH is checked with a meter at room temperature and always in the correct range, 5.2 to 5.6. Okay. I'm always able to sparge dark-colored beers longer. I get that dark beers have more buffering power, but I acidify my sparge water down to 5.5 range when brewing pale beer. When I check the runnings, I do it with a refractometer, as it is trickling to the BK. When I reach 1.010 to 1.008, I still have plenty of sparge water on the mash that I want in my BK, around 3-4 gallons, and I'm concerned about tannin extraction. Can I quickly pump what's left into the BK when the gravity is that low? Am I measuring wrong? I just don't understand how one can sparge 60 to 90 minutes. I mash with the Blickman Tower power.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he's getting down to, that low runnings gravity sooner, then he probably needs to add some more malt. So he's not cutting it so close. If you certainly don't want to dilute those runnings anymore with further sparge water at that point. So, yeah, he would want to cut the sparge flow and keep utilizing that 10-10 last runnings to get his final volume, his boil volume.
Yeah, it's kind of odd because, we're missing some information there as to, is he successfully collecting all the pre-boil gravity and volume that he's expecting? I'm thinking a few things that I think you touched on. One is 1.010 is kind of high to cut off your runnings. You can go down to maybe 0.06, and it's not really that big a deal. The more important measurement is your pH. And if your pH is correct and it's not rising too high, you're not going to get tannin extraction no matter how low you go on those runnings, I think.
That's true, yeah.
So that's more a function of pH. Because, John, wouldn't you agree, if your pH is really high, even at the beginning where you're getting full runnings, you're extracting the tannins. So
that's right, yeah.
It's really got more to do with pH than anything else. So I guess you could go even lower, but the problem is running it lower, if you're trying to hit a certain gravity, you're just adding water. So that's one of the reasons not to run too low on your final points of gravity on your runnings. The other thing is, if he's using recipes, high-quality recipes like those found in Brewing Classic Styles, perhaps he's not getting a very good crush on the malt, and that's why he's lacking in points collected. Again, we're missing that element of what he's experiencing in the kettle at the end. It's correct or not. He didn't mention it, so I got to assume he is. I don't know.
If he's hitting his numbers otherwise, or if he's not, that's what we need to know.
Right, and if it's just a timing thing, then run it off a little slower. He says it's just a trickle, but one man's trickle is another man's.
He said he's able
flood.
to run darker colored beers longer than sparging.
Well, I mean, it's not how long you run; it's how you fill it up.
It's not the size of the boat; it's the motion of the ocean.
Not to alliterate too much, but the purpose of all these guidelines for lautering and sparging is that you want to collect a good wort with no off flavors, no tannins, with the right pH. You want to collect a sufficient strength at a volume such that you don't have to boil down excessively to hit your target gravity. And when we talk about that a lauter should last half an hour, that you should sparge, at like 1 quart per minute or something like that, or drain 1 quart per minute. What we're trying to do is set some guidelines in terms of, don't just crank the valve open, suck the grain bed down, and get a stuck sparge. Don't over-sparge and put 5 gallons of or 5 gallons of water in addition to 2 gallons of wort into your boiler by draining too fast. I mean, give the grain bed time to be rinsed by the sparge water, so that you get a high quality wort. But if that's essentially it, correct?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. No, I agree with you.
Okay.
Well, and I'll tell you this: if you live anywhere near Great Fermentations, out in Indianapolis, around that area, they got 2 stores, and I've been there. And these are some sharp people. They've got some training facilities. They've got great ingredients and equipment. They've got the largest selection of Blickman gear on the web, and they are trained in actually how to get the most of it. So, whatever gear you have, these folks could help you. They could really kind of walk you through, and teach you how to use the equipment 100%. It's called Great Fermentations. Top-notch customer service, same-day shipping on most items. They are wonderful people. You can like them on Facebook at GR8 Fermentation, and Twitter and Instagram as well. And check them out on the web, greatfermentations.com. Good folks. I personally vouch for them. I've been there. I've talked to them. I've seen what they do. I've checked their ingredients. I've checked them all out. Good folks. Really well-run place. And if you had questions like this and you went in, those folks would help you out. So let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have a couple more questions right after this.
Brewing great beer is a process of continuous learning, and the best books on every aspect of brewing can be found at Brewers Publications, with more than 50 awesome titles like Modern Homebrew Recipes by Gordon Strong, Designing Great Beers, the Ultimate Guide to Brewing Classic Beer Styles by Ray Daniels, American Sour Beers, Innovative Techniques for Mixed Fermentations by Michael Tonsmeyer, For the Love of Hops, The Practical Guide to Aroma, Bitterness, and the Culture of Hops by Stan Hieronymus, and Radical Brewing, Recipes, Tales, and World-Altering Meditations in a Glass by Randy Mosher, plus many, many more. These are the books and the authors with the knowledge to push your brewing farther than you thought possible. And you'll find them all at fine homebrew and book retailers everywhere. And visit the website at brewerspublications.com. Brewers Publications, all the best on beer and brewing. Your support of the Brewing Network means everything to us. We couldn't produce shows without you. And we love giving you something extra for that support, like Brew Your Own magazine. You already know it's a great brewing magazine full of recipes, equipment how-tos, discussions of beer styles, and brewing techniques. Whether you're new to brewing and just starting out or you're an old pro, you'll always learn something from the articles in Brew Your Own. Plus, there are amazing special issues like plans for building a Brutus 10 system, 250 classic clone recipes, and the Homebrewer's Answer Book. Brew Your Own magazine and BYO.com are awesome resources for any brewer, whether for yourself or as a gift. When you subscribe or resubscribe from the Brewing Network homepage, you directly support programs like this. Get a great magazine and support the Brewing Network. Subscribe to Brew Your Own right from thebrewingnetwork.com. Grog tags aren't just for labeling your home brews to hand out to your friends. They're the perfect way to round out your personal brewing marketing. Bringing your latest beer to a funeral? Craft a metal sign to go with it. Heading out to little Liam's bar mitzvah? Grog Tag custom bottle caps are awesome. Couldn't get out of jury duty this year? Grog Tag the hell out of the deliberation room with reusable labels. Grog Tag has an awesome array of products just waiting to be customized by you. Metal signs, coasters, tasting mats, bottle caps, tap handles. It's all there waiting for your designs at Grog Tag. Liven up your next party with the widest selection of custom products ever offered by a sponsor of the Brewing Network. Grog Tag. At least your beer will look good.
Learning to brew has never been so disgusting. This is Brew Strong.
All right, we're back. And I want you all to check out adamandeve.com. You get there today. You can use the offer code Jamil, Jamil, and you're going to get yourself 50% off of just about any one item. So here's the trick. You buy one item. Giant dildo, fake fleshlight, vag, whatever floats your boat. Sex swing like people enjoys. You buy the one item, and you get it for 50% off. That's all you're going to pay. They're not asking you for more money. There's no shipping and handling, fake fees, and all that bullshit. They give you free shipping. They're going to throw in 3 free adult DVDs that you can use to get in the mood or target practice, whatever you want, and a free extra gift so sensual. I can't mention it.
Actually, I wonder why we don't use the offer code Porno Steve. I mean, you'd think that would be a little higher value. But,
it'd make more sense. It would.
Yeah, that except,
But I think it makes too much sense.
They know my history.
The Brewing Network. So that's why we're not doing it.
So Jamil's still outspending you. Okay,
that's
I get
right.
it.
Yeah.
All right,
so,
let's go.
JAMIL at adamandeve.com. Lots of fun stuff there. If you enjoy sex-related stuff in your life, check it out. You'd be surprised at what fun stuff you can find, and you're never going to get it cheaper. Especially, it's a great offer. 50% off the
Don't
item.
gotta talk to anyone.
All right, yeah,
Awkward exchange.
You're right.
Going into
They send it in a very discreet package.
CD
You don't have to worry
store,
about it.
yeah.
Have some fun. Live a little, enjoy, and you're never going to get any cheaper than that.
Add some hooks, and they make great fishing lures.
There you go. Right. Troll for the big mouth bass. Just flop that thing across the water. Throw some hooks. You never know. You might find the big mouth bass that's enjoying that. All right. We got 2 questions left.
So many things are going on. All right. Dear Brew Strong, I'm pretty consistently hitting 65% mash efficiency. I run a 60-quart cooler with a copper manifold in the bottom, and on average, mash at 152 to 154 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 minutes. Testing conversion with iodine looks great, and overall it looks like I'm getting the full conversion. Yet when I batch sparge and finish lautering into the brew kettle, I'm stuck at 65% mash efficiency and never get it higher. You can't get it up higher than that.
Well, I'll tell you, see, you were saying earlier, Bevo, the camera shouldn't be pointed at you.
Oh my God, I just realized that throughout that whole wardrobe malfunction, the camera is actually pointed at me. I have a tank top on underneath my blouse, and I was like, I'm really uncomfortable, and my tank top was basically down around my waist. I'm not sure what happened to the straps, but they're there's no elasticity left in them.
My fault.
They've given...
Too many hands pulling around inside there?
Oh, God.
So it's all stretched out? So you had a question, and the question was 65%. I remember 65%.
He can't get the mash efficiency up than that. He's...
mash efficiency always has to do with the speed that you're sparging.
That's what he's talking about.
And the crush of your grain.
He's saying, I think one of my biggest points of confusion is lautering speed. With batch sparging, people all over will swear that it changes nothing to go slower, but is the fact that he's opening the valve wide open, is that causing his efficiency to suffer?
Good.
Okay.
Also, the grain weight and his water to grist ratio affect efficiency as well. So
right, but I mean the amount you're collecting times points collected.
Yeah,
if the volume's greater, it's like, well, all right, how many points did I still get out? But so usually it's crush. If he's from Australia and using like Joe White or something where there's really bizarre stuff going on, or one of those, or he's in China and God knows what grains he's using. Could be, malt related.
Yeah.
Could be, conversion related. He's going in as like some insane temperature or some insanely high or low temperature. Could be some insanely high or low pH. Those are all really unlikely, and it's most likely poor crush and not allowing time for the sugars.
I just thought of another factor in batch sparging. If you don't drain the first runnings completely, and then you put in your second batch, that's a big source of loss, because you end up diluting part of your first runnings to your second runnings gravity.
Right.
And so then in terms of the total amount of volume you collect, it's going to be more of the second runnings and less of the first runnings. So that can be a factor as well. So check that.
Okay.
Check your volumes as you batch sparge.
All right. Last question.
All right. What is the difference is if I were to simply add my, say, 5 gallons of sparge water to my grain bed and then letting it slowly drain for an hour? Is there an advantage in your eyes to fly sparging and keeping just 2 inches on the top of the grain bed as opposed to maybe 14 inches? Or is the main concern here just selling them Blickman auto-sparge arms?
If you can take the total volume, then go for it. I mean,
Well, yeah. a lot of kettles or a lot of mash tuns don't have room for 14 inches of water over the top. That's
no, so you could just
the reason why you wouldn't
sit there, right?
Right.
Yeah. Especially commercial systems, and commercial systems is where the whole sparge arm and sprinkling and so on comes from, because you're trying to lauder a lot of grain over a wide area. Homebrew scale is a lot easier, and you can just fill it up and drain it slowly.
Right. Yeah. If you've got the excess room above the top, you can do that. It doesn't really, the hydrostatic pressure isn't really that much. Not an issue. So yeah, go for it. Don't buy that Blickman's whirligig sparge arm. Goddamn, trying to sell you something useful, bastard.
Innovative, yeah.
Indiana bastard. All right, great show. Or solid show. It was a good show. Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah.
We posted.
Bevo made it special.
It'll be posted.
Right. Yeah.
Promise.
Bevo adjusting her gear. Yeah, that really made it. You really got to find the video of that, I think.
Yeah.
Always.
No harassment intended.
Always ask if, just before you do anything, just assume somebody's watching.
The stupid thing is I run the cameras.
This may be our best show ever. That's the most video downloads of any show. Hey, combine that with some Adam and Eve, and you've got yourself an evening. I'm just saying. So go to Jamil, Jamil, at adamandeve.com. And make sure you email our good friend John Blickman, feedback at blickmanengineering.com. Tell him how much you enjoy that he pays for the show so you don't have to. And you can check out our fine, fantastic offers at the Brewing Network store, thebrewingnetwork.com/store. When you buy things from there, it all goes to the bottom line of the Brewing Network. Keeps shows like this on the air. Right now, they're running 30 to 40% off on all sorts of gear there. Yeah.
Basically everything.
30 to
50% off.
30 to 50% off. Are we getting the jet skis back in?
No.
No,
actually, we're clearing out and making room for new things. We're thinking yachts.
We're thinking yachts.
We're stepping up our game. We got a lot of old crap in that store that we don't need anymore.
Time to blow it out. Well, until then,
Upgrade.
Until then, everybody, brew strong.
Brew strong, everyone.